And we're not alone. This is happening to the entire industry right now.
The industry is also dealing with a sea change on the labor front. Hourly wages have soared, and the Great Resignation has hit restaurants hard.
Labor costs aren't going down because of the training and turnover at the 30, 60, and 90-day mark. If someone's, can even figure the job out, do they stay? And that's still not under control whatsoever. So while maybe like the actual wage inflation can taper, turnover and training costs are still elevated.
We've invested more than $10 million in our employees over the past year, and we're going to continue to invest more. We're testing 4-day work weeks to help, especially our working parents kind of juggle that balance between childcare and your work. I know I deal with that all the time. This is really a people-first company. Even in an inflationary environment, you're going to see us continue to lead with our people.
Do you worry at all about a price wage spiral, not just here, but in the industry, in the economy?
Yes, and I think that, this is something that, many business leaders are focused on, and, time will tell kind of how all of this lands.
I think the wage price spiral continues for quite some time, and I think we probably have been a lot less aggressive than we can be and than many other companies have been.
In terms of raising prices?
Yes, we've taken our time. If you look at the 20-year history of pricing in this company, we've taken about 2% a year on average. We've never taken what we could. We've always taken what we should. We have to pay people more. We have been and will continue to do so. We'll take a little bit of a margin compression on that as we've had to. And I think that's the right thing so that for the long term, Shake Shack continues to be what we're building, which is the next generation's burger joint.
Shake Shack margins have come down from pre-pandemic levels. At the same time, the company's cash position has improved.
During COVID, we actually took 2 opportunities to raise capital. We have a fortress balance sheet like we've never had before. Good timing, good planning. So when we use that money, we're looking for a great return.
The area with the highest potential return is right in Katie Fogarty's wheelhouse, advancing Shake Shack's digital transformation.
It's amazing to sit here and think that this is a company that had essentially hardly any digital sales prior to the pandemic. And when the pandemic hit, we went full force on digital with the app, web, with third-party delivery. And here we are now with 43% of our sales still coming from digital channels, even as our in-Shack business has doubled.
And that doesn't count the kiosks, right?
That does not count the kiosk.
So what kind of investment was that? Was it a home run? Is that something where you're like, Randy, this paid off big time?
Well, it's something that we continue to invest in, and we continue to see opportunities to improve our app, improve that guest experience, improve the ways that we're incentivizing our guests to really lean into our digital channels. If you simply kind of look at what the higher frequency we get from those digital guests, moving more and more of them into the channels and continuing to invest to drive frequency of that base, it's a really good recipe for strong long-term traffic growth.
Coming up, digital investments have boosted Shake Shack's business. Katie Fogarty assures me they're not done innovating.
We want the kiosk to be able to identify who you are and what you like to order when you come into the Shack.
This
Japan's critical role in the global economy is changing as the world recalibrates. After decades of stagnation, Japan's leaders are forging a more innovative and sustainable path forward to revitalize the nation. Corporate giants, policymakers, and pioneers tell us how they're doing just that. Every week on Japan Ahead, right here on Bloomberg Television.
From its early days as a kiosk in Manhattan's Madison Square Park, Shake Shack's brand has combined simplicity and style. The menu features classic items with a creative twist, while the ingredients and service are a significant step up from fast food. The concept was an instant success, but maintaining growth and staying relevant comes with a complex set of pressures.
We've come out of the pandemic with a new world, and where something that might have been an evolutionary change has been a revolutionary change. We've made changes to the way we eat, we've made changes to the way we operate that might have taken years, have been compressed into months and days.
The role of CFO in a company like ours that's so dynamically growing, so constantly changing, and focused on digital is critical. And Katie plays such an amazing role there. She's not just moving numbers around. You know, this is not your grandfather's CFO anymore. The digital infrastructure, the way we think about things now, is a monster that needs to be fed all day long, every day, and is always hungry. And you could probably have 150 digital priorities today that all our teams will fight about. Ops wants this, tech wants this, marketing wants this, I want this, Katie wants that. Katie's job is to take all that prioritization, think it through, understand which one is going to have the best return on capital and which ones have no return on capital, and you still got to do them anyway. That's the reality of the world we live in right now, and it's critical to lead that in the right way.
I visited a Manhattan Shack with Katie Fogarty. Our first stop inside the restaurant was an ordering kiosk.
Then on the burger side, you can see the option here for the bourbon bacon jam burger with shallots on top, the avocado bacon burger as well, our beloved Smoke Shack.
The kiosks are an investment in engagement.
We just see a guest kind of sit with the menu and really appreciate and understand how they can customize their order or the different add-ons that they have. So we really do believe that this provides them with an even better experience than going to the cash register.
What's the payoff? I mean, the cost to put one of these in compared to how much more a customer spends on the kiosk.
We do see a very nice lift off of the kiosk. And actually, this is not even, very fancy kiosk technology. It's an iPad. What has more investment tied to it is just the constant innovations that we've had to make the kiosk functionality better and better. And, we're driving towards kind of a parity situation where the kiosk and the cash register have exactly the same functionality. And we want the kiosk to be able to identify who you are and what you like to order when you come into the Shack.
Improvements like